What is up, my dudes? That Aggie Kid here with a tip video for you. Hopefully after watching the video you'll walk away with more knowledge on how to improve your gameplay than when you came here. If you get a win, be sure to come back, comment, and leave a thumbs up. That's always appreciated more than you can ever know. If you want to see more content like this, then please consider subscribing. Without further ado, let's dive into these tips. Alright, so here's the first tip for you guys. Find your playstyle that doesn't put you at the most risk. Running into buildings to try and get that quote-unquote 50-50 kill is never a good idea, like ever. The 50-50 kill that all pro gamers call it are not 50-50 for everyone. Running into a building where someone decided to be a Boy Scout all their life and camp is almost never a 50-50. More often than not, I'd say almost 100% of the time, campers in buildings are aiming down sights at what is often their only weak spot where someone could come up and kill them. So expect them to be waiting for you. So this one is one of those tips I recently discovered that have helped me a lot. A lot of people won't agree with this, but it helped me in more ways than anyone has seen. I have started having higher kill games because of it too. If you are struggling to get kills, try turning up your sensitivity. I used to be one of those guys who always had their sensitivity on 4. And I used to be so set on it being perfect for me, like just 4 being so great. I have tried 5, 6, 7, and it all just made things so annoying when I started blaming my sensitivity for dying, saying it isn't as helpful as I thought it may have been for aim improvement. I now play with 8 sensitivity, and it has been 8 for the past 15 wins I've had at least. Just give it a try for a week. What I have found that helps is if you want to be a certain number for sensitivity, I put my sensitivity on 12 and ran 3 to 5 multiplayer matches and then turned it down to 8, and it felt like I was back playing on 4 again because it was slower than what I got used to. The next key to playing, I'll say, is be patient. It is okay to wait for the enemy to make the first move, but there is a time where you may be at the disadvantage, such as being positioned behind a rock in an open field to be shot, essentially. And there is a sniper, an accurate shooter, just waiting to catch you slipping. As you'll see in this video towards the end, I choose to be patient rather than look for everyone. Here's the fourth one. Sometimes the easy shots aren't worth taking. I can't tell you how many times I have seen a guy standing still, less than 25 people remaining in a small circle, let's say 5th or 6th circle, where I took the shot and got the kill, and this time, being this late in the game, every shot is heard. Nothing is out of range when it comes to listening for shots. Next time you have that easy kill, think this. Is it worth giving my position away? So this one is more so a settings tip, and so what I do is I use the square minimap. Using the square minimap shows more than 33% of what the circle map shows, and it's just one of those things, like, why not have the advantage if you can get it? So okay guys, right here in this situation, I know I'm at a disadvantage. I luckily got behind that rock. Was kind of bummed out that I only got a hit marker. So check this out. What I do is I pre-aim to know where I need to aim, and you'll see in just a second after I re-shield back up, I just pop up and just take his brains out, you know? Here, so let's check it out. So it's just one of those things where you just have to be smart about it. Pre-aiming is key. It can be key, because if you don't pre-aim, then that's time out of, you know, you're taking time away from yourself to get the kill, and more often than not, they're already aiming at you, so do yourself that favor and pre-aim. Alright, so the next tip I have for you is to run contextual tap. Contextual tap is what I use when I want to pick everything up quicker. In this video, I will end up dying eventually, and you'll see it comes to use when I get shot by a pussy in a shed. And after that one, I'll say adjusting your aiming down sight sensitivity multiplier, you need to adjust it accordingly, because it it's not just your looking sensitivity that's important, but aiming down sight sensitivity is just as important, because if your aiming down sight sensitivity is too high or too slow, let's say, you can adjust it by just adjusting your aim down sight sensitivity, and it'll adjust accordingly. It really will help you. A lot of people sleep on it. So here's another settings tip that I do. Put music volume on 10 and dialogue on 35. Music needs to be low, because when it's late in the match, that super serious, intense music you hear will throw me off, personally. So I keep it low. It's not boring, and also I'm able to tune it out if I hear stuff when I need to, and hear stuff when I need to. I put dialogue volume down because I hate when my guy throws a C4 and will scream, "Setting charge!" As you can kill your teammates or for self-reassurance when I'm playing solos. I don't know why he has to say it. My guy talking can ruin my chances of hearing other people near me. So for audio mix, I boost high. You want to hear the higher pitches of things while still hearing the thumping of footsteps. Boost low just makes it all bassy. And I do like my bass, but only when it comes to watching TV or my subwoofers in my car. It's not really necessary for a gaming headset. So the last tip I have for you is anticipate recoil. Every gun has it, but if you anticipate it instead of fixing it when you notice you're missing, you're already hurting your chances of killing them. If your gun has a lot of vertical recoil, aim hip high and work your way back down to the hips when you drag your aim back down and it starts getting, when you're starting to miss your shots, just bring it back down. You'll hit more shots instead of missing their head every time. So that's pretty much it for the tips. At this point, I'm just going to guide you through how my thought process was on how I got this win, and I'll explain all that to you, and hopefully you can learn from it and use some of the strategies I use to help you get a win or to better your gameplay.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
Alright guys, so what I'm doing right now is I'm really struggling to find a place to set up camp, or as I'll say, because I'm looking at my map right now and I see that there's literally no good place to lay down, because there's just all in an open hilly area. And I ended up deciding to stay behind a rock because, one, you can't shoot through a rock, but two, it's just it can be used as cover, whereas this bush, you can see people through a bush if you have a sniper or if your legs are poking out. So yeah, I decided to go to that rock as it's towards the middle of a circle. Don't worry, I did see the car at the edge of the map, so I did take that into consideration, and I'm going to lay towards from my perspective at this point, I believe I lay towards the side I'm facing and on the right side of it. But if not, here, let's see really quick. Okay, so I chose to lay on this side to eliminate my left half while also aiming at my right, and I also then moved to this rock because I was like, this is a bigger rock. It ended up benefiting me because taller rocks can help you if you want to have if you want to be able to move more. Get higher rocks, because that'll help you be able to move more. You can stand, go prone, lay down, crouch if you want to, and yeah, choose just what helps you most. So right here, this guy comes in, and what I hate about the Bruin is how slow you run. It felt like an eternity running to this guy, as he was actually able to pick his entire load out by the time I got to him. which shouldn't take long. If you're getting your loadout, it should not take more than 2 seconds. Literally, you cannot even see me pick my loadout when I'm picking my loadout. I do it that fast. So I did not see this sniper. This sniper blindsided me, so to speak, and so what I did was I moved down the hill to give myself some time to recuperate, and I knew he wasn't going to rush me, so I just waited and hoped that he would look somewhere else, and kind of just readjusted my gameplay. I wanted to think things through and think of a backup plan, and part of the reason I moved over behind this rock was so that I could have this hillside to move down. And this moment right here is a prime example of when not to shoot. I could have very easily taken him out, boosted my stats, but it's not always the best idea to do that, because it just, when the circle is this small, like it's closing on the 5th circle right now, and everybody would have heard my shot. So don't take the shots you don't have to, unless, you know, I just wouldn't do it unless you absolutely have to. So this moment right here, he had the upper hand on me. He took my shield with a snipe, so I just had to rely on being accurate with a sniper and swapping to my normal gun, which is my Bruin, and hope that I hit more shots than he did, and thankfully I did, because I killed him. And at this moment, what I'm doing is I'm waiting for some action to happen. I'm anticipating them to fight, and they do. So I waited for him to kill one of them. I waited for one of them to die. I don't have a clue how that shot didn't hit, but what I did was I wanted to wait for them to make their action happen, be patient, and then attack when the option was best.